it's very possible that if that world stuck in, the concept of all matter being made up of atoms with incredible logic and rational world, I mean, we might have had this Copernicus 100 years before Christ, okay? So humanity had its chance, but they went for, but the armies, you see, the armies didn't allow, the Roman army didn't allow these things to happen. Okay? The Roman army had its own program, which was not rational, which was not scientific, it was not rational. It was the desire to have greed and for Rome to keep its empire glued together. We're not talking now about truth here, we're talking about some Italian emperor keeping his empire together. Is that about truth? That has nothing to do with truth. That's greed and selfishness. So that took over a wonderful possibility, which the Greeks did. I think they presented that there. So I'm Polish, but maybe I'm a Greek at heart.
You said you were reborn at some point when you changed your name to Copernicus, and you seem to indicate in your book that it's not a bad idea to
well,
become
I think
reborn.
this is you see, first of all, you have society dumping on you. You're born. I mean, I don't believe in that. Nothing is born, but we're talking about in the world of illusion.
Mm.
You're really bringing me back into the world of illusion, which is something I don't like to do. But I'm keep going back into this world of illusion. I hope the people watching this knows that this is the world of illusion and not getting confused with illusion and Magova. You know, I hope we're
you have
because
a
you keep
of
drawing me back into the world of illusion, and I have to keep talking about those words.
Well, I'm sure your life is much like that too.
Maybe it is. All right.
The fact of the matter is, you have to do what in order to accomplish this revolution?
I have to be the best that I am.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I've always tried to do.
As being the best that you are, what is your relationship with society?
Love, hate.
What does that mean?
I hate you, I love you. What can I tell you?
What do you love what do you love about society, and what do you hate about it?
Well, I mean, all the society scientists that discovered all this stuff, I mean, thanks. It wasn't for you, if it wasn't for those telescopes and those microscopes and those atomic reactors, which takes billions and billions of dollars and thousands of years of knowledge, would I have been able to do that by myself? I would be back in the Stone Age somewhere. So society did that. But the evils of society, the fact that society is always controlled in an oligarchy, where a small group of people controls whatever society you go to, and everything is controlled by them, and they are attempting to impose their program on me. And if they can't beat me, they'll force it on me, one way or another.
You seem to indicate in your book that the only kind of society that you can even imagine that is possible is an oligarchic one. Why is that? I mean,
I think it's written in this.
For somebody
I think
who
it's
believes in radical material theories,
you can't show me one
that's a very
society that ever
reactionary-
existed anywhere that wasn't oligarchical. It's the same thing. There's no such thing as a dictatorship. I don't even think Hitler was a dictatorship. I don't think there's a dictatorship of one guy. I don't believe that. There's always there's the one guy who's up front. It's a group of morons behind him. I mean, that's it. And it's the same then. It's the same now. It's the same everywhere. Do you think the United States is a democracy? This is a country owned and run by a small group of people for their benefit. And now they don't only want the United States, they want the whole world because they're becoming international. They don't only want to own the United States, they want to own everything. Latin America, Europe, it's all the same guy. Now the world is getting smaller. So this is a new change. It's not a small group of guys owning a country. Now it's a small group of guys owning the world. It's the new game.
How's that going to work out in the end, do you think?
Well, we're all going to say the same thing. We're going to all be thinking and doing what they want us to say. You know why? Because they're going to have cameras everywhere with microphones everywhere listening to what we say and punishing us when we do wrong. You see? Cameras everywhere, microphones.
And who's
You
going
don't
to
believe
punish
it?
you?
Watch.
Who's going to punish you?
You probably have a camera in your toilet watching you. They'll be there. The big brother will be there. The big brother's there now. They're inching in. They're doing it. They've got it on streets. They've got cameras on streets to prevent crime.
So it doesn't look like a very...
The crime is happening up with with the small group of guys who's doing all the crime.
Doesn't sound like a very optimistic or fertile environment for a Magava consciousness to grow in, does it?
Listen, you could put me in jail and it wouldn't bother me because you can't imprison my mind. You know, bars do not make a jail. Nobody can give you freedom but yourself. And nobody can enslave you but yourself. It's all in you. You have all the power.
How do you get freedom?
By understanding the universe. Bars don't make freedom, make a prison. Your mind makes you.
But what if you have...
Nothing exists